The heat takes no break at Darlington. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying presented by the Toasted Subs at Subway, because everything is toasted here today. 90-degree day here in South Carolina. The track temperature has come down from 133 degrees not very long ago, because we had a little bit of very welcome cloud cover. So it's time to qualify the Sprint Cup Series. Hi, folks. Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, Darrell Waltrip with you. You've had 3 hours of practice to massage it any way you want, to brush it up against the wall and maybe even make it a little better. Now let's see what you got.
You know, there are some racetracks you go to and it's qualifying is almost like just routine. You go out, you put a fast lap down, you come back to the garage. Here, it's an experience. It's like a great adventure. When you leave pit road, you never know what that car is going to do. You know what you want it to do. You know what it did the last time you were out there. But this joint is very unpredictable. It's like a roller coaster ride you've never been on. And when it peaks up over the top, you don't see anything but daylight. That's what happens here.
Now, Larry, since nationwide qualifying, which was won by Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch, the track has sat in the sun for half an hour. What does that do, and how do you adjust for it?
Well, I think the biggest thing is those first few drivers that go out, they have to be aware of that, because definitely when it sits, it doesn't matter if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes. The oils just bleed up out of the racetrack, and the track's going to even lose more grip. But, you know, this qualifying session, if you look at the practice we had, Mike, we have 6 backup cars already that's been unloaded. We had almost a dozen cars that's hit the wall. And, of course, you've got some cars that they're going to try to go out there and sit on the pole. But to me, what's going to be the most interesting part of this qualifying session is the end of it, the knockout qualifying, where we know 3 cars are going to go home, and those guys know that they've got to go or go home. Some of them may go so hard they don't make it back and still have to go home.
In nationwide qualifying, the go versus go home, the last driver to time in knocked Willie Allen out of the show by just 2/100ths of a second. And before that, the next spot up was decided by thousandths.
And I think the other thing we'll see in this qualifying session that we normally see, it's going to be much quicker than probably what we even saw in practice.
Now, all of these drivers have been excused from their qualifying draw position and will go at the end because they are in backup cars. There are others you'll see that are all scraped up but are still in their primary cars, like Kyle Busch. A.J. Allmendinger won a practice session today. Here's the insignia Best Buy Ford and A.J.'s 4th trip to Darlington.
And Mike, this track is just like, folks, if you went outside and sat in the sun for 15, 20, 30 minutes in a lawn chair, and you know how hot you get just sitting there, that's how this racetrack is. When there's no cars going around, no air moving around, she gets really, really hot and really slick.
Now, A.J. Allmendinger being a Ford, this particular Ford has the new Ford FR9 engine in it, so they're still trying to perfect that thing. Great test for it, 500 miles tomorrow night. A.J. runs a 27:53. So he actually picked up about 3/10 from what he ran in practice.
That's a good lap to be the first car out. I don't know where it'll stack up, but first lap good.
And he is the only driver running the FR9. Everyone else is still using the older Ford engine.
And that right there, first car out, is about a 1/10.5 off the track record.
Yeah,
so
I think as we get later into the session, Larry, and the sun continues to go down, track cools a little bit, I think the track record may be in jeopardy. These cars are just driving so good with this spoiler on the back of it. These guys are really, I know they're fighting issues, but this car is fast.
Tony Stewart, the Old Spice, Office Depot Chevrolet, has not won here. In fact, Stewart has only led 3 races here, and only on one occasion has he led more than a single lap. He's only led 9 laps in his career at Darlington. He's won a nationwide race here, but he's not been that lucky on the Cup side.
Well, I think the biggest thing is Tony's trials and tribulations of 2010. Had a dismal week at Richmond, and if you look at final practice a while ago, he was only 35th quickest. And we saw him sitting in the garage area. You could tell he was not very happy with his car.
The kind of driver he is, you would think this track would be absolutely perfect for his driving style. Kind of let it all hang out.
Well, Stewart did finish 3rd here last year. He ends up his lap of 27:72, 2/10 slower than Allmendinger.
But that's a half a second pickup. But I think we will see that, just like we spoke a while ago, throughout the entire qualifying session from what you practice.
Yeah, that's a great pickup, but I'm not sure that's a great lap. I think there's a lot of people that maybe can go a little quicker than that. AJ,
Allmendinger.
yeah, he's cold. He needed to warm up a little bit. He put his stocking on.
That 53, I don't think it's going to be pole material, but I think that's going to end up being pretty good shape for him.
Carl Edwards in the Aflac Ford. You see his last 3 races there. This is his 7th trip to Darlington. He has a 2nd place finish and a best start here of 4th. Has a pole in the Nationwide Series and the Truck Series, but they struggled in practice. Ended up swapping out the entire rear end housing, trying to find more speed.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. All the work we know has been done on this race car, and Carl's got to be on Carl's great adventure right here because he doesn't have any idea what he's got.
I would say even a lot more changes even since that practice, because it seemed like the changes they made in the middle of practice still didn't get this car going very good.
Just having a hard time there. You can see the throttle tracker there. Just can't get the thing wide open quick enough.
28-24. That's 3/4 of a second off pace.
That's way off.
I don't think anything in the 28s is going to end up very good at all.
And because of the way the tires fall off here, you're not going to pick up anything on that second lap unless you just about wreck on the first.
Coming up, Paul Menard, Matt Kenseth, Elliott Sadler. Street's presentation of NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying from Darlington is presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 footlong subs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day. And brought to you by the Sponsifier. Visit ToyotaRacing.com and click on Design It, Enter It. Paul Menard in the Turtle Wax Menards number 98 has 3 Cup starts here with the best finish of 15th and 5 nationwide races here. He is 2nd fastest to his teammate Allmendinger with a 27.64.
Pretty decent lap for Paul.
Krista.
Good job, man.
And down here with A.J. Allmendinger, and the first thing you did, you get out of your car and you went over and looked on that right side, thinking just in case?
Well, you know, I was pretty sure I didn't hit anything, but I don't think I've ever spent a whole day at Darlington and never hit anything. So the Insignia Best by Ford, just on that case, we've had a great day. And, you know, it's been a great day except for the people that keep drawing my number for qualifying. That's 2 weeks in a row going out number 1, but car's been good, and I'm not sure where that's going to put us. Just proud of everybody at Rich Petty Motorsports, building great cars, and wherever that puts us, but it's been a good day.
Thanks, AJ.
Matt Kenseth in the Crown Royal Black Ford Fusion is the track record holder that was set last May at 27:39, and that's in jeopardy today. That was only his 4th Cup pole and his 1st in over 3 seasons.
But a lot like his teammate Carl Edwards was 45th in practice. Matt was only 43rd quickest in that final practice.
191 miles an hour into turn 3.
Now Matt was a go or go homer in the Nationwide Series and almost missed the show. Only he goofed up on his first lap and only made it by a few 100ths.
Yeah, Darrell, when you look at this racetrack, it was never even thought about speeds of that. This is a 1.3 racetrack. That speed's like we'll see at a 1.5 or 2 mile track.
Now, a lot of the Nationwide Series drivers went faster on their 2nd lap, so maybe not so much a surprise to see Kenseth want to play too.
I think in the Nationwide car, a little less horsepower, get that momentum up. That's a possibility. Here, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, he slows down about a 1/10.5. Yeah, they're about 200 horsepower less. They're almost not even up to speed when they take the green flag.
Must have been something that he didn't like about that first lap.
I don't know.
He is 4th of 5 with only his Roush Fenway teammate Carl Edwards
Mike,
behind him right now.
If you're not very good, you got to go on and run that 2nd lap. If nothing else, to make your crew happy. Because they're going to say, you know, what if you'd have run the 2nd one, maybe you'd have picked up. So you just kind of got to put that to rest.
Elliott Sadler, the Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford. This will be his 18th Darlington race. He has a pole here when racing for Robert Yates and a 2nd place finish for the Wood Brothers.
Now Goodyear did a tire test here in early March. The tire they brought here, a little grippier tire with the left side and the right side combination. Elliott Sadler, along with Marco Sambros and Clint Boyer, did that test for Goodyear about a month or so ago.
Like that throttle tracker there. He got off that corner with a good bit of throttle in the car, but you can see he's about 2 miles an hour slower into that turn than even Tony Stewart was.
He looks like he on his first lap is going to be the slowest of our 6 cars. Actually, he's 5th.
27.97 for Sadler.
Just not carrying the speed off of turn 2 here down the back like some of the cars have. He just says, that's it. I got no more.
A little later, we'll have 11 drivers in knockout qualifying for the 8 positions available. But coming up next, Travis Kvapil and Kyle Busch. Results so far in Sprint Cup qualifying presented by Subway. Travis Kvapil on track, the A&W Root Beer Ford.
And this was one of those dozen cars that got into the wall in the first practice session. They did not go to a backup car. They actually got back out there even in that first practice.
Well, he is flirting with that wall, I can tell you that.
Didn't miss it by much. Not going to be all that sporty. 28.04 is 6th of 7 for Travis Kvapil. And here's Dick Berggren.
With our current point leader, Kevin Harvick. Now, you're running both series here. We've seen so many people, good quality people, in the wall. Not you. How have you stayed out?
Maybe I'm not running fast enough, but no, I think it's just, you know, we've had a good, solid couple practices. I don't really like to talk about that stuff too much because you never know when it's going to reach out and grab you here. But our Shell Pennzoil Chevy was really, really strong in race trim, and we were really, really loose in qualifying trim. So hopefully they made the right adjustments and we'll have a decent lap.
All right, hang on. Thanks.
Kyle Busch in the double mint Toyota. He'll be the outside pole sitter tonight for the nationwide race. In 5 trips to Darlington, he has 2 6th-place starts and the win here in 2008.
This is another one of those cars that slapped the wall actually in the second practice, but after that he went out there was 15th quickest.
That's 185 on this short front straightaway. Get a big run at it down the back. Let's see what he ends up with down the back right here. 192 miles an hour.
Darryl, I believe he slapped the wall right there in the middle of 3 and 4 again.
He had it till that happened.
6th with a 27.98.
Oh,
boy.
I think I'd have tried that second one.
That hit pretty hard.
Great. Just great.
That puts him 6th quickest on that first lap.
Well, he had a pole run going. But, man, Larry, when you go into the third turn here to 192 miles an hour, there's just not enough room for you to get through that corner and not get into the wall. That's where everybody has had so much trouble today.
You are definitely overshooting the laws of physics right there. No question.
You got way too much speed for the landing room you got. There he goes right there. He just gets the back end stepped out.
And he didn't really hit it that hard there, just skimmed it.
This is trouble. This is where that wall jumps out in turn 2. There, it just grabs you.
Well, that's a driver trying to make up for what happened in turn 3 and 4. He drove it into 1 probably harder than he should have, and the car got loose on him.
Every set of corners you go through here, you lose a little more grip the further you go.
So does this have backup car written on it?
Or a lot of work between now and tomorrow night, one of the two.
Saturday night, May 22nd, the stars come out for the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race on Speed. $1 million is on the line. Don't miss it. It's only right here on Speed, Saturday night, May 22nd. Ryan Newman, the Haas CNC Chevrolet. 7 top 10s in 11 Darlington races, including a runner-up finish in the fall of 2002. The Phoenix winner.
Saw 190, 191 on him. If you look at the tracker, he's in pretty good shape.
It's a good looking lap.
Yeah, he was 4th quickest in practice. He will go to the top of the charts at a 27.46. Now we're about 3/4 of a tenth of a second off that track record.
Dick Berggren.
With Joey Logano walking down pit road. Joey, so many guys have been in the wall. I mean, really experienced, terrific race car drivers. So how do you do your qualifying lap? Do you take it easy, go conservative to make sure the car doesn't get damaged, or is it going to be hammered down?
I already got my Darlington stripe, so I don't have to worry about keeping it pretty anymore. So I think you got to hammer down, man. I think we're gonna. We'll see. Our home debut Toyotas, it's decent. It's pretty good. I think we made a lot of improvements in practice from where we unloaded. So hopefully get a decent lap. And it's pretty hot out today. Seems like the track's pretty slick out there. So you know, it's been a struggle trying to get it just right. And it's hard to practice earlier today. The track's going to be nothing like it later on or tomorrow night at the race. So kind of a little bit of a guessing game right now.
All right, good luck with it. Thanks, Joey.
Here comes Casey Kane in the Budweiser Ford. 7 times he's been to Darlington. 5 of those times he has led the race, and 3 of the 7 he went to victory lane. Excuse me, 3 of the 7 he won the pole. His best finish was 3rd.
Jumped up there to 2nd. That's a pretty nice lap.
27.50.
Pretty close to Mr. Newman. Been a little while since Ryan's won a pole, hasn't it? Let's have a look at the Sponsify track description for Darlington Raceway. The straightaways are equal length and the corners are pretty steeply banked, but this track is anything but symmetrical. Those straightaways are not parallel. Turns 3 and 4 a much tighter radius than turns 1 and 2. It's egg-shaped.
Yeah, that 23 to 25 degrees of banking, that's a little bit deceiving. Very deceiving.
It doesn't feel like it, I can tell you that.
Let me take you back to 1950. As Mark Martin and the GoDaddy.com Chevy makes its run, qualifying for the first Southern 500 was done over a period of 15 days, and your speed was the average of 4 laps. Curtis Turner was fastest on day 1. He won the pole. Wally Campbell on day 13 was the fastest qualifier. He started 60th. The slowest qualifier, Johnny Mance, slowest in the field, earned the 43rd position, but ended up winning the Southern 500 by 9 laps because his little Plymouth didn't blow out passenger car tires like everybody else. He was running those 6-ply truck tires, and they held up. Johnny Mance the winner, Curtis Turner the pole sitter, and here's another pole sitter who was not here in 1950, Mark Martin.
And where he did it, he really got off 4 and was able to hammer that throttle because he didn't jump to the pole till late exit of turn 4.
Easy in, hard off.
Bobby Labonte in the TaxSlayer.com Chevrolet for Kevin Buckler. Won a pole here for Joe Gibbs in '97 and backed it up with a win in 2000. 6th for Labonte, 27.71.
That's one of the reasons drivers like coming here, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge to the driver to be able to put a lap down here, a fast lap, and stay out of trouble.
Krista.
Ryan Newman, did you get everything you wanted out of the car, and will that hold?
I was pretty happy with it. You know, based on history, we ran in the 40s here last year at this time, and we're right there again. And I think the track might be a little bit hotter, but the Haas Automation Chevrolet was good. I wouldn't say it was a perfect lap on my part, but it was a good lap, and hopefully it's good enough for a top 10 start.
All right, perfect's overrated. Mike.
He's only 1/100th behind Mark Martin in the battle for the pole here so far. 2 Chevys, then 3 Fords, then a couple more Chevys. Kevin Conway in the Extends Ford. 2 Nationwide Series starts here, and he'll make his first Cup start here tomorrow night. 36th in driver points. Driving the 37 this week.
And that thing took off up that hill. I didn't know if it was going to turn or not.
Yeah, this car is 35th in owner points. 16 points to the good over teammate David Gilliland in the 38 car.
You know what's going to serve him well here, Larry? Bet you he finishes.
Runs all day. He's been doing that all year long.
That'll serve him very well here.
Nothing like seat time.
13th with a 28.52. Krista.
Now with Mark Martin, 1/100th quicker than Ryan Newman. So did you get everything you needed out of your race car?
I didn't wreck, and that was really a main goal of mine. I almost wrecked it 3 or 4 times in practice. We really weren't as fast as we wanted to be in race trim, and I almost wrecked it several times. And in qualifying trim, I just didn't want to, you know, you're going to do worse. You're going to start worse. You're going to start a race car that you haven't practiced and all that stuff. But I am competitive too, and I reached pretty deep, and I thought what I did was pretty stupid, but I didn't even have a close call. So I didn't wreck. I don't know how much I left, if any. I'm proud of that. I don't care how many people beat that. That's still good, and it's still probably better than we were going to be in practice.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Krista. Jimmy Johnson had a big slide in turn 4 coming to the green.
I think sticker tires, I've seen several cars in practice particularly, you see he's a little loose off there. The car's just nice and free up off the corner. But I've seen a number of cars struggle a little bit on their, coming up to speed lap.
And you know what's interesting about that? That was coming to the green, and he and Chad Knaus, his crew chief, talked about that in their practice qualifying.
He's loose, Larry. He is bad loose.
He is glad to have that lap over, and it is 6th quickest to 27.69.
Now, it might tighten up a little bit. This will be an interesting test here to see if he can pick up on his second lap. I don't think he can.
And about the only thing that can make it tighten up would be air pressure in the tires as much as anything.
Get a little heat in the tires and get the air pressure built up. As you can see right there, the further he goes, the slower he gets.
Just keeps losing grip.
Johnson becomes the second driver to take both of his allotted laps, which did not work out to his advantage, nor to Matt Kenseth's. 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s in 11 Darlington starts for Jimmy Johnson.
Well, I think this will be one of the cars that'll show us what this track's got in it, because this car has been fast ever since they unloaded it today.
Denny Hamlin already has won the pole for tonight's nationwide race today.
That's what worries me. Getting out of that nationwide car and jumping into this car, such a huge difference in performance, horsepower-wise.
2 nationwide wins and now 3 poles in that series here.
He was second quickest behind Jamie McMurray in that very last practice session that we had not too long ago, and you can see right now,
look at that throttle
through
track.
1 and 2,
a little bit right
he's
there.
a tenth and a half to the good, so he's not only on a pole run, he's on a track record run if he gets through 3 and 4.
Big if.
27.394 is the track record held by Matt Kenseth.
He's got it.
Well, I'm telling you, he's losing ground. He lost ground late exit. He just kept losing ground through turn 4.
And it is so not a new track record.
Nope.
He looked so good, Larry, till he got to the exit of 4.
Third quickest, 27.48. Mark Martin a 45, Newman a 46, Hamlin a 48, Casey Kane 50.
Headed into turn 3, he was a tenth and a half to the good. And he said right there, just got too tight. He just couldn't get the throttle down.
See here, he kind of drops it way down off the, a little lower than what I've seen him come off of there when he was running fast laps in practice. But if the car got tight, he wanted a little room to slide it, I guess.
So Hamlin is third as Kevin Harvick in the Pennzoil Chevrolet comes out. Harvick's first trip here resulted in his best start, 2001. He started third, picked up a second place finish in 2003. This will be his 12th trip to Darlington.
Just what a run this race team's on right now. They come in here as our points leader. They finished third at Richmond. This point a year ago, he was 23rd in points, and now he comes in here the points leader after 10 races. Not going to be the qualifying run Kevin was looking for, though, I don't think.
Not very good.
13th quickest. 28.01.
I'm going to go for 2, but I just don't see that working.
Be great if the start-finish line was in the backstretch.
And it used to be.
The further you go, you just lose grip, and you know, even though you get through 1 and 2 pretty good,
still pedaling.
It's hard to pick up.
You can see that tracker. I believe he may be the first driver to run the second lap and actually pick up. He picks up to 11th quickest, picks up about a half a tenth.
27.94 to a 28.01. Nice lap for Harvick, who's 11th. Here's Hamlin climbing out. He is third behind Mark Martin and Ryan Newman.
You know, he's hopping out of that race car kind of like he did before the surgery. Obviously, that leg has gotten a lot better. Knee has gotten a lot better over the last couple of weeks.
Jeff Burton waiting his turn as Joey Logano comes out. The Bristol pole winner finished 16th at Richmond. He is 17th in the points. This will be his 50th start in the Sprint Cup Series. It's only his second trip to Darlington, though.
Comes in here 17th in the points, but that's only 97 points out of the top 12 right now. He really got through the middle of 1 and 2 good. I believe he put that throttle down and was able to stay in it.
He was there. That's the big thing to watch, folks, is watch that green line at the bottom down there. When you can get back in the gas and stay in the gas, that puts down a pretty sporty lap.
And he did the same thing through 3 and 4. Going to be a pretty good lap for him. 6th quickest for Joey. Lost a little bit late exit of turn 4.
But we've seen so many cars spin out, hit the wall. Exiting turn 4 has been a problem all day long.
27.54 the first lap. Logano wants more. He might get it.
Going to be a little bit slower, I believe.
Yep. Speed's coverage of Sprint Cup qualifying at Darlington is brought to you by top-rated New Finish, tough enough to be called the once-a-year car polish. By Wrangler, for unbeatable comfort and value, count on Wrangler Jeans Company. And by Tornadoes, bold is how we roll. Mark Martin trying to win his 50th career pole. David Reagan in the UPS Ford on track. And his lap is 27.69. That's good enough for 8th place.
And he's the fastest Roush Fenway Ford so far. We still have Greg Biffle to go here shortly, but he's a little faster than Kenseth and Edwards right now.
And Biffle's in a backup car.
You know, as weird as it sounds, when a car takes off up the hill here, you get in hard and it takes off up the hill. You don't touch the brakes. You nail the throttle. You propel the car forward. That's how you keep it out of the wall here.
Krista.
Well, giving his knee a break here, sitting on the wall. Denny, I know it was a pole run going. Walk us through a good in 1 and 2, and then what happened in 3 and 4.
I don't know. Is that where we missed it? I figured we probably lost it in 3 and 4. I just got too tight down there. May have carried too much speed. If not, I carried too much brake in. So yeah, I know what I needed to go faster, but just didn't have it in it. But it's still a great qualifying effort for our team. We usually are in the 30s, so I'll take that. I'll take that all day, and we'll race them tomorrow. But I know our FedEx Express Camry was extremely faster in race trim.
It's been a good Friday so far for Denny Hamlin.
Next, Krista, the Red Bull Toyota for Scott Speed. And like Joey Logano, it's only his 2nd trip here in a Cup car. Qualified 2nd fastest at Phoenix and made his 50th career start at Richmond last week.
Pretty nice lap here. Looks like he gets off here with any speed at all, and he did.
And this is a backup car.
Yeah, this first lap sees it.
That's a good one. 7th place.
Not bad.
Good lap.
27.59 for Scott Speed. Robbie Gordon jumped 1 spot out of the danger zone at Richmond. 33rd in the owner points in the BAM VIP, number 7. And Robbie times in 13th, looking for his first top 20 start at Darlington. There's the top 5 so far. Clint Boyer, or excuse me, this will be the number 12, Brad Keselowski. Penske Dodge.
Brad was 19th quickest in that final practice session. Had a great run here a year ago driving for Hendrick. Didn't qualify that great, but with a good top 10 finish.
He's got a great run going right here. And slips a little bit into 3, picks back up again. Can he hold it to the line?
No. No. He eased in there, picked the throttle up good, but like we've seen so many times, Darrell, you pointed it out. Lost it late exit turn 4, but still a good run. 27.49, 4th quickest.
Keselowski's going to play 2. So far, that's worked out well for Kevin Harvick, not so well for 4 other drivers.
You saw right there, he got loose getting into 3. That really cost him, and of course, he just said, that's it. You'd think it's going to be better because you get through 1 and 2 pretty good.
It sucks you into thinking it's going to be better.
3 and 4 just not there. Grip.
Dick?
With David Rudiman, who's one of the best qualifiers in NASCAR, but today it's not about qualifying quite as much as it is about dear old dad, Buzzy.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, it all starts off with actually being this is the 124th anniversary of a Coke being first served in Atlanta, Georgia. So in honor of that, and that'll be on Saturday. But in honor of my old man's birthday, which I say he's 70, you say he's 69, I'm going to give the old man an ice cold Coke, let him enjoy that. And also, got to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom. So can't forget that, or I'll get everybody covered.
Didn't you buy Dad something? All you're going to do is give him a Coke that they gave you for free?
Nick, man, countless. You don't even want to know how much money I spent on an old man's race car. Tires, motors, chassis, bodies. Way more. So, you know, he's getting out on a good end of the deal either way.
You're a good son. We appreciate that. And happy birthday, Buzzy.
Maybe drinking this Coke what keeping me young.
There you go.
You know, I actually read some quotes from David this week about his mom, Linda Ruderman, as we watched Kurt Busch. Said she doesn't come to many races, and when she'll come to a Cup race, she goes and sits in the grandstands where she can watch him.
How about that?
Pretty good run for
Busch
Kurt.
in the Blue Deuce, the Miller Lite Dodge of Roger Penske.
I don't know, too tight.
Too tight.
Tightened up in 4
Yeah,
on him.
I tell you what I see on 4. A lot of guys are not carrying the speed off of 4 because it looks like they're trying to cut lower off to the turn there, and they're bogging down or getting their car pushing instead of carrying that high line all the way off of there.
But I could see why Steve Addington maybe had that car a little bit snug for Kurt. Remember, he spun out big time, just didn't hit anything in practice.
So Kurt Busch is 8th for the moment. Keselowski 4th is the quickest Dodge. Busch in 8th, and here is the Hartford Insurance Group number 33 for Clint Boyer. 5th trip to Darlington for Boyer, whose best start this season is 3rd at California. 6 top 10s this year.
This is a backup car because he did crash in the first practice, but he did get some laps with this car in final practice session.
And he had his problems in turn 1 and 2, and he's up there flirting with that high line there, but he got through okay this time.
And he almost did it in practice qualifying in the final practice.
Out in this car here, in his backup car, and almost did it again, but got through there okay that lap.
His teammate, Kevin Harvick, ran a 27.94.
Mike, see right there how everybody's kind of cutting to the bottom.
Yeah.
They weren't doing that in practice. I don't know if they feel like there's a lot of grip down there or if it's for security or if it's for safety. I'm not sure which.
Well, he's about 2/10 quicker than Harvick, 27.73 for Clint Boyer. That's 16th. Dick?
With Jeff Gordon, when you come to Darlington, you got to think about Jeff Gordon. 7 wins, 3 poles, and what is it, 1,610 laps led, and you were pretty darn good in practice. Looking for the pole tonight, you got a shot?
I mean, I think we always have a shot. You know, you got to be really committed here, and so we'll find out once we get down to the 1 and get my foot back in the gas, just where we're going to be, because that's what it's all about. But all the guys, Steve and all the guys, done a great job getting us ready for this weekend, and we're excited. You know, this DuPont National Guard Chevy's been strong, and you know, we worked a lot on the race, so we did a little bit of qualifying runs. Guys are picking it up quite a bit, so we'll see.
So is the driver. Led so many laps this year, you've come so close, maybe tomorrow.
Jeff Burton in the Caterpillar Chevrolet. 27 trips to Darlington, 2 wins. 11 of those races he led, and out of 27 he finished 26. The other one was a blown engine.
It's going to be a great run for Jeff. He was on a real good run down to turn 3, but right now 6th quickest. 27.505 to Casey Kane's 27.503.
I think what I'm seeing here is the same thing we saw in practice. You're getting through 1 and 2 fast. Everybody's poled through 1 and 2. That puts you at a high rate of speed going down the back. We've seen 192 mile an hour. That's making turn 4 so difficult that the guys are losing all their time trying to hang on to their cars on that end of the speedway.
Because remember, turns 1 and 2 now, much bigger radius than turns 3 and 4, much easier to get through and carry a lot of speed. And then, you get down to the small end.
Yeah, you say, I got through 1 and 2, the best I ever have all day. Whoa, I'm going fast.
Here's Jamie McMurray, who was the fastest in final practice in this one car.
By a good bit, too. He had about a 10th in the bank. Let's see if he can back it up here in qualifying.
Pole at California, 8th place start at Richmond last week. This is his 10th trip to Darlington, and his best start here was 3rd for Jack Roush in 2007, and he is on a flyer.
Yeah, you see it. The tracker is on peg right now. Let's see if he can get through this end of the speedway and keep that speed up.
He's got 2/10 in the bank, working on 3/10.
Oh, he got off there.
It's going to be an awesome run.
He got off there.
Ready.
Awesome run.
Could
Get
be big.
ready. It's a new track record.
27.264, over 180 miles an hour on a 1.3 racetrack.
That's a flyer.
That is a flyer.
Did you get it all?
I would smack somebody if they asked me that. Did you get it all?
I don't know if they've told the man what he run yet.
Oh, man.
He was not as quick into turn 3 as some of the drivers we saw. In easy.
Yeah.
Coming out hard.
I think if I were over in my hauler watching what's happening to everybody, I'd say, I think I'm going to back off early getting into 3 to give myself some room to work that corner. I think that's where guys are missing it.
Martin Truex in the Napa Toyota.
Well, you know, we say it's not always about how much horsepower you got here at Darlington. It's more about handling. But when you got both, you get a lap like that right there.
Yes, sir.
They got horsepower, and today they got the handling in that one car.
5th trip to Darlington for Truex with a best finish of 6th. This is not pretty.
Wow.
Well, 20th. It didn't end up so bad. 27.83 for Martin.
But he's going to have his work cut out for him when the green flag flies tomorrow night.
Here's your top 5 so far. Jamie McMurray with a new track record. Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a new car, a backup car that has also been up against the wall during practice here. Best start in since he's driven the 88 is 2nd in this race 2 years ago. Started 2nd, finished 4th. He has 2 outside pole starts here.
Got a pretty decent run going here. The car walked up the hill with him right there getting into 3.
Oh,
Looks like
man.
the thing was real tight or either loose where he couldn't turn the steering wheel.
Yeah, that was a good, again, good till he got to 3.
27.64, 12th fastest. Junior said during a press conference earlier this year that Darlington would well be the catalyst that determines when he retires as a driver. He didn't have a fun practice session.
I've heard many drivers say that when they come here.
Krista?
Jamie McMurray got out of the car, looked at me and said, "That's pretty fast. What was the key for you?"
Well, I had a really good 1 and 2. And 3 and 4, I just can't run up against the wall like some of those other guys can. So I pinched the car off a little bit there, but
that seems to be a good thing in this case.
Bono told me that a lot of guys were going through 1 and 2 good, but they were just getting killed in 3 and 4. And I just was maybe a little conservative there, but our McDonald's Chevrolet was really good. I'm really excited. We've got some of the owner-operators from McDonald's here this weekend. And I was talking with them in the trailer beforehand, and it was really cool to hear their stories about watching me win Daytona and then talk about eating a Big Mac afterwards. So it's been a fun day for us so far.
All right, sounds good. The 1 is 1 for now.
Yeah, the fun continues for Jamie Mack. Marcus Ambrose on the track. And this is a backup car because of all the wall slappers of the day. He probably did the most damage to the right rear of his of just about anybody.
Right near the end of that final practice session.
So this will be his first laps in the backup. He got his first top 10 finish of the season last week at Richmond. Marcus is one of those guys. You talk about somebody who will pull the belts up tight and just go for it. Backup car or no, he's going for it. 16th.
I think this could be he could improve because he's getting comfortable in the car, learning a little bit about it. Maybe he can pick up on his second lap. Maybe he can pick up on.
Well,
I'd say he picked up a lot. 27.46.
Gosh, 4th place.
I think he just was getting comfortable in that first lap. And hello.
Why did we all practice for 3 hours? So somebody could take a car off the hauler and qualify 4th?
Well, I want to tell you what, I'm going to give an attaboy to Marcos Ambrose, but I'm going to give an attaboy to Frank Kerr and that group for sending him out there in a car like that.
Sprint has an inside look at what's happening now in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. There is Jamie Mack's brand new Darlington qualifying record. For more, check out NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile at sprint.com/speed.
Now, I will say this. I'm pretty sure the temps have come down. Track temp has. Look at 3 and 4. Next to up in the groove, the wall and the grandstand down there are starting to shade that into the speedway. That's a big plus. We still got Jeff Gordon to go out, who was really quick in practice.
Especially since that's the difficult end of the racetrack right there, the small end.
Yeah, I would say Jeff Gordon, Juan Pablo Montoya, too.
Yeah, he'll be fast. Still got some heavy hitters here.
Greg Biffle in a backup, the pole winner here from 2000, and back-to-back winner here in 2005 and 6. 7 of his 9 Darlington starts have him qualified in the first 6 rows. Let's see how he does.
Yeah, in that final practice session, a lot like his Roush Fenway teammates, he was 40th quickest. You know, Greg has those 2 wins here, but I can think of several other races that he probably should have won here.
I remember the race here, his engine, the car was bottoming out and he broke the flywheel.
Yeah. Right.
Nobody was even close to him that night.
Nice lap for a backup for Biffle. 13th quickest with a 27.62. This battle for the pole is far from over. David Rudiman in the Aaron's Toyota just clicked off the 2nd fastest time of the day. 27.434. Not quite under the old track record. Good enough for 2nd right now. And one Paulo Montoya in the Target Chevrolet.
Had to get out of it up there in the middle of the kind of break between 1 and 2. Really hurt his lap.
Well, this is not going to be a very good lap for one at all.
Run another lap, or we're good.
14th right now.
Go ahead.
Darryl, you were saying during the break, the temperatures are cooling just a little bit, but mainly it's the shade down in 3 and 4 that could cause times to drop further.
Yeah, I'm looking at, you know, we got Jeff Gordon that's still was fast in practice. And I think he's somebody to keep an eye on when it comes to qualifying, because we're definitely, you can see all the shade here now in 3 and 4, and that's where guys have been struggling the most.
You heard Juan Pablo Montoya ask Brian Patty, as crew chief, should he run another lap? He went ahead and ran it, slowed down just ever so slightly. So right now, 13th quickest for the 42.
Yeah, that 2nd lap fell off 3/100ths. Car darted and slid a bit going into turn 3.
It actually started over here coming off of turn 2. It got a little crazy with him there, and it just carried on down into the middle of 3 and 4.
David Rudiman, 2nd fastest right now.
David says, I do not want to do that again.
No. Brian Vickers next. Red Bull Toyota, 7 trips to Darlington. His best start came for Rick Hendrick in 2005. He started 5th, finished 16th. This is a team that made the chase last year, and if they're going to be back, they really need to rebound starting right here.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting there 24th in the points, both the Red Bull cars, especially Scott Speed started off real strong, but both of them have definitely fallen off. Pretty decent looking lap so far, halfway down the back straightaway.
Flirting with the pole, Brian Vickers.
He's working on it. That grip that we think may have increased here in 3 and 4 gets off there really nice. Not going to be on the pole. We're going to be right there.
But he did get off 4 better than about anybody we've seen, with the exception of McMurray.
It's getting close. That's a 32 to a 26.
Yep, his first lap knocked Rudiman off the front row. And Vickers under the old track record, and that's enough.
P2.
Jamie Mack first, Brian Vickers second, and Jeff Gordon next.
I think if I was a betting man, I might bet that this a 24 car might have a little something for these boys. It's going to be close. If he clips McMurray, it's going to be by hundreds.
I'd say here's the one they're going to climb up on top of the hauler and watch during this qualifying run.
Yes, sir.
The DuPont National Guard Chevrolet, 3 poles for Jeff Gordon at Darlington. 7 victories, 23 top 10 starts and 29 races. Remember, McMurray was really good floating the car into 3 after getting a good run off 1 and 2.
You might want to put your Big Mac down and watch this one, boys.
You mean get ready to enlist?
I just know how Jeff Gordon is at this place, and he is about as good as they get right here.
Line up, sign up, and re-enlist today. As here comes Gordon. Picks up a little going into 3. Not quite enough.
No, it's going to be close. But
Not as good as I know how to get it there.
Second for Jeff Gordon, a 27. He misses the pole by
that was close.
1/100th of a second.
I just knew it'd either be one way or the other. He's going to be real close ahead of McMurray or right behind him.
Yeah, honestly, it's 7/1000ths of a second to a 2.64 to his 2.71. Close, close, close.
Jeff Gordon second again. he gonna get really, he gonna get ticked.
Remember what Harry Gant said after all those second place finishes without a win? He says, don't forget, he says, second place pays pretty good.
Yeah, but Harry Gant wasn't a four-time champion either. He was a great driver.
Sam Hornish in the Mobil 1 Dodge. Started 4th here last year, but finished 30th.
And he was 7th quickest in practice. Other than Texas, this is the track that he has the best average start of his short career.
Took it down on the apron. That's a good entry to turn 3. I like that. But
Boy,
it really
he lost so much ground over there.
Kills him here.
And he really pinched it off through 4 and late exit.
He took it in a little low into 3. Got down on the apron. I don't know. I think that must have affected the car.
24th, 27.72.
I think he needs to just get up off the apron, right? If he gets a little higher getting in, that's going to help his whole corner speed here. See how low he is? It's the only car we've seen down that low on the apron, though, but it shoots him up the track. Shoots him up the track right in the middle of the corner.
And it just, when you go up the racetrack, you're not in the throttle, and it just hurts the exit coming on the straightaway as well.
Second lap, couple of 100ths slower. So Hornish is 24th. Krista.
Jeff Gordon climbing out of his race car and just a 1/100th off the pole. But you have to be happy with the car. Was there anything else you could have done there?
This team is on it right now. I'm just so proud of them. Really excited about having National Guard on board this weekend on our DuPont Chevrolet. And go to Facebook. They've got a lot of good stuff on there on their Facebook page. But man, it's just little tiny things, you know, that I could. The car was perfect. The car was better than the driver was right there. And you know, all day we've been getting a little bit loose over there off of 2. And you know, the car stuck better than I thought it was going to. I committed to the entry and got it through the middle, but I think I wimped out a little bit on the exit. So, and then from that point on, it was just, I thought it was, you know, we still had a good lap going, and it was just don't mess it up in 3 and 4. I got through there pretty good, and I knew it was going to be close. I said something on the radio. I don't know how to do it a whole lot better, but I would like to have had it over. I would like to have had the exit of 2 over. I think we might have got it then, but I'm very proud, very happy with that lap and the whole team right now.
You know, when you're looking at those fine details, you know you have a good car.
I think Regan Smith would like to have the exit of turn 4 over again.
Yeah, he slapped that wall pretty good, front and rear.
The Furniture Row Chevy making its 3rd appearance here with Regan behind the wheel. And the 2008 Rookie of the Year has it get away from him. Little toss and catch with the wall there.
Actually, that's not as bad as I thought it was. That back end touched the wall, kind of straightened the car up. So don't think it did as much damage as it first looked like it may have.
His car did not look very good through 1 and 2. And, it got worse the further he went.
And Mike, my point about Harry Gant and Jeff Gordon was Jeff Gordon's a 4-time champion with 82 wins. You don't get there by running second or finishing second.
Understand.
And that was kind of what my point was. I don't want Harry to get mad at me.
No.
He's a buddy of mine.
No disrespect intended. Not at all. So we move to knockout qualifying, and Dave Blaney will be the first. There are 11 drivers for the 8 positions. Blaney's best start here, 10th in the fall of 2003.
And he was the fastest of those 11 guys in practice. And of course, Dave Blaney, as well as his teammate Michael McDowell, missed the show at Richmond last weekend.
27th for Blaney with a 27.75.
And unless these guys reel off a lap that they just really feel good about, they definitely will run that second lap. Got to go down swinging.
I think somebody somewhere in the 60s, and I'd turn that car back in the garage and maybe not run that second lap. In the 70s, I agree, Larry. You probably got to take another swing at it.
Borderline.
Yep. Mike Bliss had a bit of a rough ride in the James Finch 09. 28.36 was the quickest of his laps. And David Gilliland in the Taco Bell Ford, 27.93. So that should lock Dave Blaney into the show. As we look at the 26 of David Stremme. And Stremme 27.90 on his first lap. That will lock Blaney in, and Stremme is the second fastest of the Go homers right now. So Blaney is in, and the other 3 who have run are Stremme, Gilliland, and Bliss in that order. with Reed Sorensen due up next.
And, you know, we said something in the 2770s would feel pretty good about that. And that's where Blaney is at a 75. So that's your target, boys.
Reed Sorensen for Braun Racing.
He was just right there on the fence as far as our 11 go or go home cars.
Yikes, got in too high.
Close. 4 trips to Darlington for Sorensen in a Cup car. 2 starts of 16th and a best finish of 11th. Now the green line is to lock into the race. So far nobody's been sent home.
He's going to beat Mike Bliss on this lap. That's going to be about it. He'll have to run that second lap. Right now he's
27.94. He's 1/100th, or 7 thousandths if you will, behind Gilliland. So he needs a pickup here. The time to lock in, 27.90, gets you in the race for sure.
This is the most difficult. People just have no idea how difficult this is.
Round he goes.
Hang on to her, buddy. Gas it, gas it, gas it. Lock it, lock it. Got it.
Now Sorensen is not out. He is among the go or go homers. He's in the bottom 3, Gilliland, Sorensen, and Bliss. This lap will lock David Stremme in.
I would say, other than a road course, this has to be the most tedious qualifying on these go or go home guys.
It's so nerve-wracking, Larry, because when you go out, not only are you fighting all the elements, but the pressure of trying to run a fast enough lap to get your car in the race. The driver is hurting.
Reed Sorensen spins, but he still might make the show. Speed's coverage of Sprint Cup qualifying at Darlington, presented by Subway Restaurants. So many $5 footlong subs to choose from. Enjoy amazing value at Subway all day, every day. And brought to you by New Finish Cling Instant Detailer, the shine that sticks. We're in knockout qualifying. There goes Casey Mears. Dave Blaney and David Stremme are locked in. The bottom 3 are David Gilliland, Reed Sorensen, and Mike Bliss. Mears on this first lap in this backup car, 28.27, is going to join them in the bottom 3 unless he can pick it up.
Well, maybe if he gets, you know, of the feel of this car and it feels good to him, he can pick up a little bit on this second lap.
The green line will lock him in. That's David Gilliland at a 27.93. And he betters Mike Bliss, but David Gilliland locks into the race tomorrow night. And now the bottom 3 become Sorensen, Mears, and Bliss.
The first 2 laps Casey's turned in this car after getting involved in an accident in practice earlier.
He spun off turn number 2 and nosed the primary car in hard on the inside retaining wall.
And just think of the pressure he's under.
Right.
Underfunded team for the most part. They wrecked their car in practice. He's got to get a car that he hadn't made a lap in. That's just, you don't realize what that does to a guy's psyche when he goes out there like that.
No pressure there. Jamie Mack looks like it's going to win the pole. Michael McDowell for Prism Motorsports was quick enough in practice that he should easily lock in ahead of Sorensen, who ran a 27.94.
Yeah, just if he doesn't make a mistake here, you know, that's the pressure that he's under. Got a car fast enough, we know that. Just don't mess up.
Flirting right there with being the fastest go or go homer, which right now is Blaney in 27th, his teammate.
And that's 2 cars that missed the show at Richmond. I would hope the crew chief of this car is standing there right now saying, you're good, you're in, no more.
McDowell is fastest to the go or go home crowd, 27.63.
There he goes, right up against
leaving him out there.
Just don't think I dig this.
That's enough.
I'm going to go to those go or go homers and get a radio from every one of them and bring them to the booth.
Great lap for McDowell. He is 18th overall and fastest of those who must qualify on time. The bottom 3 remains Reed Sorensen, Casey Mears, and Mike Bliss in that order.
Now this is the second time through there.
This just doesn't, I mean, that is so close to wrecking the car. For what?
Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know if he's in until they tell him.
I think the crew chief and all them stand on top of the truck showing them, look what we just ran. Look, look at that.
Oh, Michael, that's good. That's good.
Now,
by the way,
Casey Mears, Joe Nemechek crashed his primary car off turn 4 and nosed it in the inside wall. Tore it up pretty good. He did get a couple of laps in this backup car. And let's see if Joe can beat Reed Sorensen's 27.94 and lock himself in. Sorensen is the green line, and Joe needs to go.
And what got Joe in trouble, we interviewed him. It was a practice qualifying run, and he said the car just had no grip with those brand new tires that he had put on there. Just didn't stick.
He's going to have to pick it up. Going to have to pick up some more.
He won't beat Sorensen.
See if he can do anything on his second lap.
39th for Joe, 28.11. He needs a 10th.
I'd be willing to bet
tenths.
Joe should pick up on his second lap because he's getting more laps in this race car now. He's still got to get on over to the left a little bit.
Not going to do it, Larry. Just don't see it happening now.
No. Doesn't look like he's going to change positions whatsoever.
So Joe finishes up 39th. That means that Reed Sorensen, despite his spin on the second lap of qualifying, Reed will race tomorrow night. Reed locks into the show. And now Joe Nemechek is the fastest of the 3 drivers outside looking in. Nemechek, Casey Mears, and Mike Bliss with 3 cars to go. It's knockout time.
I think Yaley's got a fair shot at getting this thing in.
This is the Whitney Motorsports Dodge, which was driven to this point in the season by Truck Series veteran Terry Cook. Cook departed the team this week as driver and general manager. And the veteran USAC and Cup driver J.J. Yaley, who has 3 starts here. His last Cup start came in August 08 at Pocono. Yaley's going to try to put this car on the show.
As far as the go homers, he was just right there. He was 8th quickest.
Like that. Got that corner's good.
He drove it in there and it stuck.
Yep.
It stuck.
Good looking lap. Don't try that in turn 3.
This corner's good. Ease it out, ease out. Don't get too low right here. Let it run up the hill. Back in the gas.
Boys, we're doing it.
I believe he's going to be okay. He's
Yep.
going to be just fine on this lap, I believe.
Yep. Got this car in the race.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Good lap.
J.J. Yaley. 30th. J.J. will race tomorrow night with a 27.85, and that means that Mike Bliss and the James Finch team will head home.
The crew chief got to the button just right there.
I like
just
that.
right.
Yeah. That car looked good getting around there. That's a nice lap.
And good for JJ.
Yeah. Missed having him out here.
Yep. 2 cars to go with Joe Nemechek and Casey Mears, the bottom 2. The final 2 qualifiers will be Max Pappas and Todd Bodine.
And you know what's good for JJ? You know, he was on top of the world driving for Joe Gibbs.
Yep.
He got knocked down. You don't come back at the top. You got to start down at the bottom and work your way back. This is a good step toward working your way back.
And this is a good step for JJ because this car had trouble qualifying in the previous races this year. Trouble for the veteran road racer from Como, Italy. Max Pampas's car will not start.
We're going to bump start you, okay?
They're
They'll
going to
try it with a push.
They're going to let him push him off. And it did crank. Boy, that
just to add to the pressure.
Yeah. Last thing you need is something like that when you're getting ready to go out and try to get a car in a race. Especially when you hadn't been that fast.
Max started 22nd here last year, finished 35th. The Geico Toyota needs a 28.11 to lock in. That would beat Joe Nemechek. And a 28.26 to have a chance. That would beat Casey Mears.
Yeah, he's got just coming to the green lap. I didn't like the way he did that. He's real low on the racetrack. Didn't get a lot of speed coming down to get to green.
He was really searching for speed in the first practice, but he did end up being 4th quickest of the go-homers.
He is running a really low line around the racetrack.
It paid off for him until right there.
He's trying to run right almost down on the bottom here, staying way away from the wall. Don't know if that's going to work out for him or not.
I mean, it's going to be sitting right there. Just
did it. Max is in.
He's in.
28:02.
Good for him.
That bests Joe Nemechek, and that will send Casey Mears and Tommy Baldwin Racing home.
All right, Booty, where are you at, buddy? Where's your radio?
No mas.
I just say that first lap, that was the only guy I've seen run that low around the racetrack. I think this lap he moved it up a little bit, see if he could pick up a little speed.
Slows down just a little bit, but he will race tomorrow night.
We're fine, Max. Good job.
39th for Max Pappas.
Those boys did not make the show at Richmond last week.
That's right. So nice recovery.
My favorite one so far of the Go Homers as far as crew chief was on the 46 car. He was excited, man.
Yeah.
We are in.
Well, they haven't made that many races this season with the 46.
They did make Richmond last week, but you're right, only 2 or 3 starts.
Todd Bodine climbs into the Gunzelman car, still carrying the colors of Little Joe Falk's Auto Sales from Richmond. So Todd, who has 15 Cup starts here and is currently second in the Camping World Truck Series, needs to beat Joe Nemechek's 28:11. So one of these Toyotas will race and the other heads home.
Todd's a good qualifier, I can tell you that.
Got through 1 and 2 awfully good if he just doesn't get greedy in 3 and 4.
He pedaled it pretty big time off of a 2, but so far carrying enough speed.
And the track's the best it's been all day.
Oh yeah, the conditions couldn't be better. Just come on, stay in it, stay in it.
He's going to be in good shape. Looks like this team will qualify for 2 races in a row.
37th for Todd Bodine. He is in.
Stop.
Now we're talking.
That's the way you do it. There's your front row, Jamie Mack and Jeff Gordon. 5th career pole for Jamie. Here's Dick Berggren.
And only the first time in his career, Mike, that Jamie McMurray has won 2 poles in a single year. This year started out with a win at the Daytona 500. You are on your way to a career best year. What one thing is more responsible for your success than anything else this year?
I think just being comfortable in the work environment and coming back to Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. You know, I was certainly more successful here than my 4 years at Roush, and I just, you know, just kind of feel like I'm back at home, and just really good people that I'm around, and feel honored to get to drive the McDonald Chevrolet and Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. It's a really fun environment.
Congratulations. Well done.
Jamie Mack wins his first Darlington pole and his second of the season. We'll have more from Darlington after this. First 3 cars beat the old track record, which was held by Matt Kenseth. McMurray, Gordon, and Vickers were the ones who did it.
Tell you, not a very good qualifying day for our boys that are up in the points. Kevin Harvick, our points leader, 35th. Jimmy Johnson, 22nd. Kyle Busch, 3rd in the points, 39th.
Got to keep an eye on that guy starting second, though. I know we're back in the field here a little bit. Jimmy Johnson back there in 22nd place, but Jeff Gordon's going to be tough here tomorrow night, I guarantee you.
Want to offer our condolences to Mac Josie, longtime staffer here at Darlington, whose mom passed away this past week, and Nationwide driver Willie Allen on the loss of his dad. I want to say a happy 11th birthday to my son Scott. We went down to Bass Pro Shops, got him a bass boat and a motor, and he's out on the pond, he and his buddies, sailing around. So they're the drivers who get to go home early. From Darlington, Mike Bliss, Casey Mears, and Joe Nemechek are disappointed. NASCAR Live and John Roberts are next. We'll see you tomorrow night with NASCAR on Fox.